Hello, this is Tammy. I'm the president of Fun and Adventure at Singles Travel International, and I'm here tonight to present our travel preview for Winter Breakaway Singles Cruise next February from New Orleans to the Caribbean. And I'm here with Chris Cardana from Norwegian Cruise Lines. Hi, Chris. And
Hi, Tammy.
we're going to show you all about this beautiful ship called the Breakaway that is special for singles. And we're going to talk about the itinerary and all the very exclusive inclusions for members at Singles Travel International. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you, Chris, and it's all yours.
Thank you so much, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'm just going to share my screen so I make sure I see it, so hopefully you all do too. Very good. So my name is Chris Cardena, and I am a regional sales manager here at Norwegian Cruise Line. There we go. And it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much to Tammy, Singles International Travel, for this opportunity. We are thrilled to have you back or have us back as part of your program. I know it's been a couple of years with some craziness that went on with the C word. I'll leave it at that. But things are back on track now. Travel is back, cruises are back, which is a good news story. So we're super excited to offer this great package for you for next winter. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about our brand, Norwegian. I know we have a couple of past NCL cruises with us, which is great. And then for those of you that are new to brand, hopefully this will be some good insight as to, who Norwegian Cruise Line is and, what the Norwegian difference is in terms of how we differentiate ourselves from some of the other cruise brands. And of course, we're going to do a virtual ship tour and take a look at the Breakaway and all of the great features that she has. And of course, we'll leave plenty of time for some question and answer at the end. So again, thank you for your time and attention, and let's jump right in. So I'm going to start with talking a little bit about us, a little bit about Norwegian Cruise Line. Who is Norwegian Cruise Line? Well, I'm here to tell you that we're actually not the official cruise line of Norway, in case you thought of that. I always get that question, so I kind of put it out there as a little joke. So it just so happened that one of our founders happened to be from Norway, so that's how we got the name. And I'll give you a quick little history fun fact. The co-founder of Norwegian Cruise Line, so it was a gentleman from Norway, Knut Cluster, and another gentleman by the name of Ted Arison. Ted Arison actually broke off and went on to start Carnival Corporation. So, the history of the modern cruising era kind of starts with us, Norwegian Cruise Line. We were actually the first cruise line to offer Caribbean cruises out of Miami in 1966. So we've been doing this for a while. We've been a leader and an innovator in the contemporary cruise space over 55 years. And we're actually one of three brands. We're Norwegian Cruise Line, along with our sister companies, Oceania Cruises and Regent Seven Seas. Regent Seven Seas. So three mighty brands under one umbrella. And, we are a global brand. We sail to over 300 destinations all around the world, ranging from short 3-day cruises to longer, exotic, more expedition type journeys with lots of different immersive experiences. And, we're going where guests want to go. Chances are, if there's a place that you haven't been to, maybe it's on the bucket list, we're going there. We're not just a domestic cruise line doing, Caribbean cruises. We sail all over. We're a leading cruise line in Europe. We have the youngest fleet sailing in Alaska. And one more fun fact, we're actually the only cruise line in the entire industry that has a US flagged vessel, which allows us to operate in Hawaii, sailing round trip Honolulu. No other cruise line can offer that because all other ships are flagged outside of the States. So that gives us a nice advantage. So, but like I said, everywhere in South America, Australia, New Zealand, we even have cruises that are doing sail-bys through Antarctica now. So we have cruises that are touching all 7 continents. And what we feel sets us apart is it's all about freedom and flexibility. Freestyle cruising, you'll hear that term a lot when it comes to our brand. So freestyle cruising allows our guests to enjoy their vacation on their own terms, right? So you don't have, now I'm speaking out of context for the group, because with Singles Cruises, you got, Tammy and her team are curating a spectacular program where you're going to have group events, including group dining, amongst many other group functions. But a typical Norwegian cruise, we don't assign dining times. It's freestyle, so you're kind of free, to dine where you want, when you want, and also dress how you want. So it's a resort casual atmosphere. We technically don't have, I guess traditionally they would call it a captain's night or a formal dress up night. We don't have that. So our guests really do appreciate that relaxed, casual atmosphere, much like you would experience at an all-inclusive resort on land. And I think that's kind of how we like to see ourselves, is like an all-inclusive type vacation, but on a cruise ship. So that's kind of just to give you, the essence of freestyle. So transitioning and talking a little bit more about the onboard experience. So, there's a whole host of dining options, ranging from complimentary dining, which of course is dining that's included already in your cruise fare, to our specialty dining options. So in addition to, say, the main dining rooms, the buffet, our casual eatery, on the go that's open 24 hours. We also have a variety of specialty restaurants. And this is actually a picture of teppanyaki, which before the presentation started, Tam and I were talking. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but that's one of the group dinners that we're looking to confirm for you all. So that's still in the works. But teppanyaki is one of our highest rated specialty restaurants. It's similar to what you would experience at like a Benihana's. So it's a Japanese hibachi style, very popular with our guests. But above and beyond that, we have a signature steakhouse, an Italian restaurant, upscale French, seafood. So there's really something for every palate, and food from all around the world. And then, like I mentioned with freestyle, like I said, you can dine inside or outside. There's no fixed dining times, and you can either get dressed up or not. It's up to you with it being freestyle. So our ships work really well, and particularly for the solo traveler, for the singles traveler market, I think freestyle is a great attribute, because you can pick and choose the different activities and kind of structure, your time as far as dining and entertainment and everything that the ship has to offer. Talking a little bit about activities. So there's really something for everybody's speed. Now, unfortunately, this particular feature, the racetrack, is not on the Norwegian Breakaway, but we do like to show it because it is a marquee feature of our brand. We have 18 ships, beautiful ships. The racetrack is featured on some of our newer vessels, but nonetheless, it's filled with heart-pounding action and activities. But for those that like a little more tranquility and relaxation, highly recommend the Mandara Spa. We've got a world-class spa facility with a thermal suite. So you have your plunge pool, your steam room, the saunas, the Thalasso mosaic lounge chairs, as you see pictured here. So this is a great area where you can get a massage treatment, oxygen facial, amongst other treatments. So definitely worth visiting and enjoying while you're on the Breakaway. And then, of course, plenty of bars and lounges, because correct me if I'm wrong, Tammy, pretty sure that everyone's getting the limited open bar drink package as part of
sure are.
Perfect, right? So
Yes.
You're not going to have to worry about waiting in line, for one or two bars. I mean, I think there's like over 17 or 18 bars in lounges across the whole ship. So, we definitely offer great service with our beverages and cocktails. So it's something that you'll enjoy.
And Chris,
then, of course,
quick interjection.
Yes,
One
please.
of the things, unlike our competitors, we've included the gratuities with all of your drink packages too, which is another $200 to $300 savings. So you don't have to even pay for anything when it comes to the drinks.
Yes, thank you for mentioning that. It's a great point. Yeah, that's definitely a huge advantage. And, one of the benefits that, Singles International Travel has as a preferred travel partner with Norwegian is that we were able to work together and negotiate a great deal, great offer for this group. So yeah, thank you for mentioning that, Tammy. That's a tremendous value. And what's a cruise, of course, without casino and duty-free shopping, of course, which is available on board the Breakaway. And for me, when I cruise, I know it's all about the food and it's all about the entertainment. And so Norwegian, we've always had a reputation of having groundbreaking entertainment. So, and when we have different types to offer, so we have our usually our Broadway hit or Broadway musical. a high energy production show. And then we also have live music, we have themed parties, and we also have a partnership with Levity Comedy Group. So we'll always have a nice range of different comedy acts as well. And it's a really good mix. The nice thing, it's like, as opposed to, say, the way a traditional cruise used to be, where you have an early dinner and then there's 2 show times, so it's either early dinner, late dinner, and then you'd go to the different shows. Well, there's typically on any given night, there's 3 or 4 different shows or entertainment experiences that are happening. And of course, one of the things I would recommend is, as it gets closer to your cruise, is to download the Cruise Norwegian app, because that's going to be kind of like your compass once you're on board, right? So you'll be able to see a listing day by day and the different times of what are the different activities in the entertainment and the different entertainment that's happening. Although, again, Tammy and her team are going to be putting together a comprehensive, itinerary, but at least, you'll have all of the information. So, you'll be able to see and hear as you wish. And so where are we going? So on the Norwegian Breakaway, we've got a great itinerary to the Western Caribbean, February 4th of next year. And so this is sailing on New Orleans. Now, as I understand it, there's actually a 1-night pre-cruise hotel stay that's going to be included in the package. Is that right, Tammy?
Yes, we're at the Marriott New Orleans, and that's included in the package.
Marriott New Orleans, perfect. So the ship departs on a Sunday. It's a 7-day cruise, Sunday to Sunday. What I like about this itinerary is it gives you a nice balance of those sea days as well as your time in port. So you depart on Sunday. The ship is leaving at 5:30 p.m. So all of our boards typically about 2 hours prior. And then you've got a relaxing day at sea on Monday, right? So you can kind of enjoy the ship, get acquainted. And then as you make your way to Cozumel, which is our first stop, which is on Tuesday, we've got a full day in Cozumel from 8 to 6, followed by Roatan, which is an island off the coast of Honduras. Beautiful beaches, great shopping. Harvest Key, I'll talk a little bit more about that, but that is a Norwegian exclusive. That's actually the newest port in the Western Caribbean. And then on our way back, we've got a stop in Costa Maya, which is in Mexico. A little bit of a shorter day, right? We get in a little early from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. But then you get that relaxing day at sea on the way back. So we get to enjoy the ship, as we make our way back on Saturday.
And Chris,
So again,
do you mind if I add in here just a little bit? Sorry.
No, go for it.
Part of our package too, guys, is that you get $200 in credits toward your excursions, so that wherever you stop, you'll be able to book excursions and get credit toward the total. So more details for that in the months to come, but that's another added amenity.
Man, what aren't we giving on this cruise? Gosh, you're getting gratuities included, the service charges for the drinks and dining.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
Very good. Extra
Awesome.
night in New Orleans, and
Yeah.
onboard credits.
Awesome. So let me talk a little bit about Harvest Key. Harvest Key actually just opened, gosh, I think it was at the end of 2017 or 2018. So it was a private island development between Norwegian Cruise Line and in the country of Belize, the government of Belize. So it's a resort style destination. As you can see in some of those pictures, we have a 15,000 square foot pool featuring a swim up bar and 15 plush pool cabanas, which can be rented out. And actually you can use that Shorex credit to go towards that if you'd like. There's also a 130-foot tall lighthouse featuring a 3,000-foot zip line with a suspension bridge, free fall jumps, and a ropes course. And then a beautiful 7-acre beach with 11 private villas that accommodate up to 6 guests and are equipped with air conditioning, a dedicated lounge and dining area. You can actually see it in that picture right there. Those are really cool. And there are 5 a la carte dining bar venues with a variety of cuisines, including Land Shark Bar and Grill by Margaritaville. And what's cool is that the ship actually pulls right up to the island. So there is a dock, so it's a non-tender port. And so you could technically kind of come and go off the island or go back to the ship or stay all day. We're there for a full day. So, you can mix it up. But it's just a really nice, fun resort style destination.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah. So now I want to introduce you to the Norwegian Breakaway. And I will say that this ship is somewhat near and dear to my heart personally, because it was the first Norwegian ship or the first Norwegian cruise inaugural event that I got to be a part of. You know, I joined the company in 2009, but in 2011, I transitioned into agency sales, which is where I am now. And so this ship we delivered in May of 2013. And I remember it like it was last week. Gosh, it's almost 10 years now. And we launched the ship out of New York City. You know, we're at Pier 88, right along the West Side Highway. Beautiful, you know, Manhattan skyline. You got the USS Intrepid right next to you. So fun memories. And it was really a big turning point for our company and our brand, because it was a new generation of ship, kind of that next generation of ship. And it's, you know, from a guest experience perspective, it's highly rated. And all of the ships that have come afterwards subsequently have, you know, have pulled from the Breakaway. So here she is, again, built in 2013. You know, you think about it, gosh, that's 10 years, but in ship age and ship years, you know how old some of the ships are that are out there? Gosh, this is still, I'd say, somewhat of a young ship. So 145,000 gross tons, 18 decks. So at full capacity, close to 4,000. We've got a crew of 1,600. Very nice balance in terms of ratio of crew to guests. It's a great ship. So now we're going to look at, so we're going to do a kind of a little virtual walkthrough and take a look at some of the venues. And so we're going to start by looking at our main dining rooms and some of our complimentary dining areas. So it starts out with the Manhattan room, which is a beautiful dining room located on deck 7 aft. So there, you know, we do live music in the evenings and dancing. So that's one of 3 main dining rooms. So you've got the Manhattan, and then you've also got Savor and Taste, which are 2 smaller intimate venues. And then we also have O'Sheehan's, which is like kind of like what I would say are 24-hour casual grab and go type food. I'll tell you this, if you like to stay up late and hit the dance club and you're looking for, you know, a snack at the end of the night, the chicken wings are outstanding. And they also do a really great Irish breakfast too. So O'Sheehan's. And then of course we have the Garden Cafe, which I know that slide already, these slides go really fast. The Garden Cafe, which is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, full service. And there was a noodle bar too. That's one of the included complimentary options as well. This last frame here, this is the Haven restaurant. I'll talk a little bit more about the Haven a little further down, but the Haven this is a private restaurant exclusive just for the guests that are staying in the Haven, which is our upper suite area. And again, I'll talk a little bit more about that as we move forward. So long story short, we've got, I think it's, when you add it all up, it's 11 different complimentary options, right? Between all the different dining rooms, the buffet, the casual eateries, the noodle bar, et cetera, et cetera. And in addition to those complimentary options, we also have specialty dining. So remember I was talking about teppanyaki, that Japanese hibachi. So that's one of several specialty restaurants that we have. So look and see. So we've got Cagney's, which is our signature Chicago-style steakhouse. You've got La Cucina, which is family-style Italian. Ooh, Moderno Churrascaria. That's one of my personal favorites. That's like, if you've ever heard of, you know, Fogo de Chao or a Texas de Brazil. So it's like an Argentinian Brazilian-style steakhouse where they serve the meats, you know, they skewered meats, carved to table side. Oh gosh, that went really fast. What else did I miss? We got Cagney's. I want to make sure I don't miss these here. La Cucina, which is the Italian. Moderno, I went off on a tangent there. Le Bistro, upscale French. They've got a filet to die for. Ocean Blue as well. The Dover Sole is the highlight. And of course, teppanyaki. And then wasabi, which is sushi roll, sushi area. So, I mean, when you add it all up, I think there's more specialty restaurants than there are days in the week. So you may, the funny thing is you go on a 7-day cruise, you may not get to eat everywhere. So that just means you'll have to repeat and come back with us again. But again, I think
quick interruption, Chris. And the other thing that we do for our members, which is a must, when they make their reservation, we have 4 of your specialty dining restaurants listed on our website. So they are able to click on that. And that's their, I'm interested. So it's an expressing interest. And then we'll gather all of those clicks and make the reservations before the members get on board, because these are so highly sought after. If we waited until everybody got on board the ship, we wouldn't be able to get reservations. So this is how we do it for our singles.
Great point. And yeah, and that's a huge advantage for your group, because restaurant reservations for the general public would open up 120 days prior. But because of the group and you know, we're working with the operations team, hotel operations, we're going to be securing your restaurant space like way in advance. So what you get is what your members will have, right? And then they can go to the website and sign up for it. So even better. Yeah, they don't have to wait until the rest of the, you know, the crowd has to book. So
And they don't know what I had to do to get that privilege, do they, Chris?
I know. I know.
I had to walk on my hands for an hour on hot coals, just letting you guys know, but we got it done. We got it done.
Tammy works hard. All right. So, and we have a couple of entertainment dining venues. So this right here is Spiegel Tent. So this is where, so it's technically a specialty venue where we do, it's like a murder mystery type show, but with a dinner. So that is, I don't think that's going to be one of the ones that are set up through the group, but it is something that will be available to book throughout the week. There is an added cost to it, but just something, you know, that you're aware of. And it is a highly rated show. It's always nice, you know, the dinner and theater type venue that we have. And like I said, I mean, we have so many bars and lounges. So you're never going to be stuck waiting in line for a drink. Service does really well. So this is all of the different venues. Shaker's Bar. The Prime Meridian Bar. That's a really nice bar. Oh, this is a really cool spot too. So Spice H2O, which is situated all the way at the back of the ship, and it's got that large screen. So oftentimes they'll do like a dance party in the evening, outdoors, you know, weather permitting. And then other nights they'll have like movies under the stars, you know, where they'll show like different movies and stuff. So it's just kind of like a great space, you know, to gather, whether you're a group or a single or what have you. So, and Fat Cats is another one of my personal favorites. This is going to be the spot that's going to be open until, I don't know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., whatever it is. So this is where we'll have a band playing, you know, live music. And it's really cool because it's on, so this is located on deck 8, and the Breakaway was actually the first ship to have this. We call it the waterfront. So I wish I had a picture of it, but to kind of visualize, so it's like an open deck. It's like a 1/4 mile promenade on the outside of the ship. So lines from all the way the back, all the way to the front of the ship. And it's lined with bars, lounges, seating. Some of the specialty restaurants have seating outside, dining al fresco. But this particular area, the Fat Cats, has, you know, you go outside or inside. It's just a really cool venue. And like I mentioned, you know, entertainment, you know, is really a big focus for Norwegian. And we've got a lot of great options as far as our in-house production shows, to our comedy, to our, you know, live music and themed parties. So these are just some of the examples that we have. Of course, you know, entertainment rotates, and, you know, we have different shows. Like the shows that are on the Breakaway now may not necessarily be the same ones next year. So it's always hard to say, you know, hey, this is going to be the lineup. Because, you know, like anywhere else, we contract with, you know, with different talent agencies and production companies, but we always have a really good mix of different entertainment.
And also, this is one area that, again, we'll see how this rolls out. In the past, we always blocked the shows for our members so that you just show up and have a great time.
That's right. So we'll take a look at some of the onboard activities. So this ship has some really cool water features. I mean, you can see here the aqua park. I think that's like, we have 3 different slides. One of them is a free fall. So you literally stand on a platform, they press a button, and like the floor comes out from under you and you just go straight down. It's quite fun and thrilling. But of course, you know, if you like to relax by the pool, we have a number of hot tubs. There's a really cool ropes course also. I know I have so this ropes course, you know, you're attached to like a, you know, bungee cord, and you get to walk through this course. But so at one point in the course, and it's on both sides of the ship, there's an 8-foot plank that actually extends out over the side of the ship. So literally you can walk onto this plank while the ship is moving, mind you, and you could take a picture because there's a camera right there. So it's really cool for like a photo op. But I suppose if you're afraid of heights, might not be the best thing for you, but just some really cool, thrilling activities there. And then of course, I know I talked a little bit about the spa earlier. You definitely have to go. Great pampering. We also have another area which is really cool. It's called Vibe Beach Club. So if you see on that the upper right corner there, so Vibe Beach Club is like an adults only 18 and over area. It does have an added charge to go. Oftentimes guests will buy a pass for the week, but you can do a pass like for the day. So it's just kind of like if you don't want to be, let's say like a day at sea, right? One of those relaxing days at sea. The pool area can get a little crowded naturally. But Vibe Beach Club is sort of like away from that. So it's a little more chill. They've got like a menu up, private menu. There's, a bar. They've got lots of seating. They even have cabanas, hot tubs. So it's just like a nice, take it easy, relaxing experience for 18 and older, and great place for singles as well. Now, if I'd say more often than not, personally, I never see the gym. But if you do like to work out, we do have state-of-the-art equipment, with treadmills, ellipticals, free weights, machines. So Pulse Fitness Center, of course, is available to you. All right, so now we get to take a little tour and get to see our staterooms and see what the cabins look like. So we're going to take a look at some of the different stateroom categories. So we're going to kind of look at a wide mix. However, just for your FYI, there are certain categories or cabin types that are part of the group that are being, so when you go to the website to sign up, you'll see the different options. But if you have any questions, of course, just let us know as we run through. And so we're going to start with looking at our club balcony stateroom. So club balcony is actually what I would say it's kind of like your junior suite level. So it's not necessarily a suite, but it's like just the category right below it. So it's a little bit larger than a standard balcony, larger bathroom. So you get like, instead of a single like sink, it's a double vanity. It's a bathtub instead of like just a typical walk-in shower. So it accommodates up to 4 guests, but less is always more. If you're traveling as a solo, got great space, for closet space and everything. So club balcony, and then it comes with a few extra perks. Those that stay in a club balcony will actually get a one-time complimentary laundry service throughout the 7 days. You also get a extra bottle of champagne and a couple of other little treats in your cabin as well. And then our standard balcony. So the funny thing is, club balcony, regular balcony, if we were standing in the hallway on the ship right now, looking into both cabins side by side, you'd say, Chris, they look like they're the same. They sort of are. It's just that the club balcony is a little longer. It's got a bigger bathroom. So balcony is just as nice. It's just as good. But the main difference, I think, is going to be in the bathroom feature. So instead of that double vanity, it's a single sink. You've got the walk-in shower, but still very comfortable. It's always nice to have your own private veranda. I know for me, like, it's nice to have the light coming in, because if not, otherwise it's hard for me to wake up. So it's, you can have a nice cup of coffee on your balcony, listen to the waves go by, read a book. It just adds to the experience. And then of course we have our ocean views, which we have an ocean view with a large picture window. So a little bit smaller than the balcony. And we have our interior cabins, which is our best value. It's 135 square feet. And our studio staterooms. So actually,
Hey.
fun fact, I think I could be wrong. Was it the Breakaway that was the first ship to introduce studios?
Epic.
No, it might have been the Epic. Yeah,
Epic.
2010. Okay.
Yep.
So the Breakaway was the second ship to introduce studio staterooms, which I think was a game changer. We talk about Norwegian Cruise Line being an innovator in the contemporary cruise space. That this was definitely one of the things that we were the first to do. Because traditionally, if you were to sail as a solo traveler, you do pay what we call a single supplement, or you pay 200%. So the studio is an accommodation that's priced and designed specifically for a solo traveler. Very modern looking. It's got just the right, layout, and the right amount of functional space. I personally have stayed in a studio 2 times, no, 3 times now. The last time I stayed in one was on the Norwegian Prima, which is our newest ship that just came out. We launched it in November of last year, so a couple months back, 3 months ago, and I stayed in a studio. I loved it. It's got a nice layout. And it's really cool because the studios are on 2 levels, right? So it's either deck 10 and 11 or deck 11 and 12. But it's your key card is going to look a little different than everybody else's that's on the ship, because in order to get to the studio area, it's like a separate door that's key card access. So only the people that are staying in studios will have access to where the studios are. And it's hugely popular for us, and subsequently it's been on every ship that we've built since Breakaway or since Epic. So it's on 8 of our ships now, and it continues. It's definitely an important and growing market for us. The solo single traveler is thriving. So it's and that's also reflected in some of the programming that we offer on board for our solo traveling guests as well. So our studios, and I know, typically when we put a group together, it's like pulling teeth to book studio cabins, but somehow Tammy managed to get several studio cabins in her block. So kudos to you for that too.
Thanks. And I know you're going to talk about the lounge, because that's why there's a private key card, because we have our own private lounge with breakfast, not full breakfast, but in the morning there's coffee with sweet rolls, and then in the afternoon there's a little bit of a snack when you can always get coffee. And it really is, I know this may not come across great, but just think about like going back to school when you're in college and all your friends are in the same place. That's what the studio lounge section reminds me of. And just by the response that we got, the number of members that made reservations for this, Rose said she's done it before, and so many, I know they've done this and they remember the good times that we've had. So you have that to look forward to that is completely unique to the studio experience on Norwegian Cruise Line.
Well said. Thank you. Yeah, that's a great way to put it. I haven't thought of it that way. I may take that and use it in my talk track. That's okay. Cool. So we looked at some of our traditional stateroom types, from the club balcony to the studios. I mentioned a little bit earlier about the Haven, so I just kind of want to let you know about the Haven, which is I think we like to call it, it's Norwegian, we're not a luxury cruise line. However, we do have sort of what I call like a luxury small ship within a ship type of experience. So how the key card for studio guests gets them to where the studio cabins are. When you're staying in the Haven, so the Haven is going to be at the top. It's at the front of the ship at the very top. So it's deck 17 and deck 18. So it's this private enclave area that surrounds this courtyard. So all of the Haven suites are kind of lined, along that. And so it's like a private courtyard area. There's a private restaurant up there, a bar, concierge desk. All Haven guests get a 24-hour certified butler. They'll unpack your luggage for you if you want them to, or let them. They're there at your beck and call. Also, not to mention, from the time that you get to the port and you check in, you're not checking in with the rest. You're getting, to the separate check-in area. You're getting escorted onto the ship. You're the first ones on the ship before anybody else. So, from start to finish, it's definitely a high touch, white glove type of experience. And so it's really cool. And we've got some fantastic suites of all different types of configurations. So we'll look at some of those really quick, but let's see here, the Haven on the Breakaway. Some of the bathrooms on there. Yeah, some of these suites range up to, gosh, I think the owner suite's got to be 12 to 1,500 square feet.
That was the bar and the restaurant, not a cabin. They have their own bar, so.
There we go. Haven Spa Suite. One of the unique things about the spa category is that So for those of you that do enjoy the spa or are interested in the spa, when you book a spa category such as the Haven Spa Suite, it will include access to the thermal spa suite complimentary. So that's one of the nice key features. So this particular spa suite, and this is really cool. It's got like a jet bath or a hot tub like right in the cabin, which is really cool. So that this is one of our very popular Haven accommodations. Then we have our deluxe owner suite with large balcony. So this one's usually like towards the front of the ship, so it gives you like that wraparound panoramic type balcony view, which is really cool. So yeah, close to 1,000 square feet. You can do quite a bit of entertaining in there. Our owner suite. It's got a full living room, separate master bedroom, 2-bedroom family villa, sleeps up to 6. And then of course our courtyard penthouse with balcony. And I think that's my transition. So that's the Breakaway. I hope that you enjoyed, getting to know the ship a little bit better as far as the features and what Norwegian has to offer. And we really hope that you sign up so that we'll see you on the Breakaway in February of next year. So I'm going to hang out. I think Tammy's going to take over, and I look forward to answering some questions. Tammy, just in case if you're talking, it's on mute. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I was going to ask you if you want to also let everybody know if they make a reservation before March 17th, you're adding more. So let me tell my amenities first, and then you can add yours on. So guys, first of all, in order to look at the inclusions of this vacation, some of you said you're just in a research mode, which is great. So this in front of you now, you should be able to see our trip page. And all of our trip pages have this navigation bar on the left-hand side so that you're able to look at the highlights, which is what we include in a package. The itinerary, frequently asked questions, I'll bump it up, trip chat. When you book a vacation with Singles Travel International, only the members who have made the reservation have access to that chat. So you don't have to worry that you're on Facebook and people can see your information. It's very, very private, and you are able to discuss your vacation plans with your fellow travelers and get to know them better. We also have a who's going section. This is very useful when you're trying to decide on a vacation. We all know that the destination makes a big difference, that you save on your single accommodations, but also once you start traveling with us, you'll start making new friends, and you're going to want to see who's on the vacation even before you make your decision. So that is available. Our concierges are literally the friendliest and most caring, lovable and compassionate leaders out there. And those of you who have traveled with us do know that they're there for you 24/7, literally, and creating fun games, fun itineraries, exclusive events just for our group. And so you're able to see who the concierge is for every trip by pressing on this. Here's some testimonials, and then price by trip is the same as book now, and you're going to see what the pricing is. So I'll talk about that in just a minute, but I couldn't resist the chance to show you how to navigate each page. Whatever deals we have going on with our cruises or tours or weekend getaways are typically listed right here in the special offer box. So with this cruise, you're going to have unlimited beverage package, including the 20% gratuities, which Chris said is $21 a day. So we're looking at over $200 in savings, $200 in shore excursion credit, $75 onboard credit for a total savings of $11.90. We are also going to give you, and I'm going to scroll down here. It just keeps getting better. You're going to have one free night at the Marriott New Orleans. That's included. We're also going to include, we always have a signature experience on our international programs. So for this one, because so many things were included already, it was hard for me to find something special. So I think like the Japanese teppanyaki steakhouse is a blast. They're all big tables and you've got the chef in the middle. You've all done Benihana or some of these other ones where they're joking, they're chopping up the food. And it's just a wonderful experience that brings about camaraderie, and we get to eat together in big groups and it's not uncomfortable. It's a circle table. So I think that's going to be a lot of fun. And so all of this is already available to you for whatever category you reserve with us. And I'm going to have Chris now tell us what he's going to add to the pot if you make your reservation by St. Patty's Day. And then I'll go in to show you some of the pricing and how the premium members save money. But Chris, what are you adding? Which I was surprised. You're very generous.
I just realized St. Patty's Day is on Friday. It's this Friday. Oh man, that's
yes, it's a great day. Yep.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do. So for those that sign up by the 17th, I'm gonna add an additional $25 of onboard spending. So we're gonna round that up to 100, right? Because you're getting 75 already. So I'll add an additional 25. I'm also going to throw in a 6-pack of 1 liter bottled water, which bottled water is definitely on a cruise ship. It's great to have a bottle of red wine and chocolate truffles waiting for you when you get on board. So when you walk in that cabin and you see that wine and that truffles, you're going to remember me. You'll remember this night from this presentation, hopefully. So, so just as an extra thank you and appreciation. So.
Thank you, Chris. That's super generous. And again, if anybody booked already before tonight, we're going to automatically give that to you. So that's extended to those of you who booked early. And those of you who booked early, you already saved on your cabin because we had a premium deal that rolled out. And you know, as a premium member, you're always first to find out when there's a new deal. You're the only ones that get our last minute deals. And if there's any extra perks, they go to our premium members. So let me just click the book now button and show you what some of the cabin categories are that are available. We have our studio cabin that are still available. We have 30 of them. So once they're gone, not sure we'll be able to get some more, but we have 30 studio cabins. And can you guys imagine the party in the studio section? It's going to be amazing. We're also going to be offering inside cabins. But as you see already, the value for the premium member, it's only $2,000 for your own space for 7 nights, including the room in New Orleans. So that's 8 nights compared to the inside cabin. Now, if you want to have a little bit of an ocean view, we've got those. And our cabins are the full picture windows. So here's your picture here on the left-hand side. It's an ocean view, full picture window. Premium members save $340 when booking the ocean view cabins. We also have the balcony cabins that Chris talked about. They're not the suites, but they're the regular balconies. And the premium members save $410 on their own space compared to the regular price. And we are offering the Haven Spa Suite with the jacuzzi. That picture that he showed you with the jacuzzi in your own cabin right in the corner as you're looking out your balcony. So that is at a savings of $580 for premium members. And you know, honestly, for 8 nights in the spa suite, you get access to the spa where with all of the thermal waters and sauna and all of that, that's included. You also have your butler up there. You have a lot of extra amenities. You're going to have access to an exclusive restaurant. And I know that it's a singles group and you'll be with us, but I have to tell you that when I was lucky enough to be in the Haven one time, I got upgraded. It was a beautiful way to have breakfast. Instead of going to a buffet, it was very peaceful. It's more like a European dining experience. So in the morning, if you like a little peace and quiet, you're able to go to this restaurant that is exactly that. You have your own swimming pool, your own bar. your own butler. And you're always welcome to join the group at all junctures. But if you're into spa and you need a little bit of extra quiet and peace, and you want that luxury touch, the Haven area is precisely that. And do they get access to the Vibes Beach Club from Haven or not, Chris?
You know, it's funny. So the Vibe Beach Club is like sort of next to the Haven, but no, it's not one of the inclusions for Haven guests. So it's sort of, you know, for anyone that wants to go, there is a cost to it,
Okay,
regardless of category. But a great place to be though.
okay,
Yeah.
great. But the Haven has their own pool and their own, you know, their own space. So you would have that as well. Now I'm going to go down to options and excursions for a minute, because down here, when you go to checkout, don't forget, if you're not a premium member, you would purchase your membership here. You could either do annual for $397, lifetime for $697. And then don't forget to choose your free night in New Orleans. So you're going to click on this one. And then this is where I was telling you, you would talk about your preferences. So we are taking over Teppanyaki, and now we're going to gauge what other restaurants the majority of our members are interested in dining. And then once we get that data, we'll go ahead and make the reservations. We've tried this every which way but loose. We've made the reservations for free. We've charged in advance. We're going to try something brand new with you guys. So this basically, because it's a 0, so when you click Moderno Churrascaria, it is a VIP reservation only. So read this fine print here, but all we're really saying is it's a VIP reservation. You're expressing your interest. Once we gather the majority of our members' votes, so to speak, or their choices, then we'll go ahead and we'll start making the reservations, and we will do them in a very good time slot. And we'll probably do them in tables of 6s and 8s as your reservations come in. So first come, first serve. So don't forget to check these boxes when you check out if you're interested. Now, I personally think that to do specialty all 5 nights is a lot, but some of you may want to do that. But be assured that when we get these confirmed, you will always be with other singles. You don't have to go find other people to dine with and figure it out and make the reservations. We will do that for you. So I just want to add that in there for you guys so that you know how this is working. So feel free to check it out when you do your checkout. Check off your specialty dinings. We describe them all here, and we explain what it actually is. So it's as easy as pie. I think this is one of the best values that we've had in a very long time. And I look forward to hosting, although I'm not the host. Let's see who the concierge is. Does anybody? Let's see. The concierge is going to be Vicky. So many of you have been with Vicky in the past. And so she will be the concierge. She knows this product or this ship very well. And then here you can see all the other members who are already signed up to go. It takes a minute to view them all. But this is that who's going section that I was talking about. You're going to recognize a lot of friendly faces. And that number that I talked about was representing a number of trips that our members have taken with us. I think some of them record the options as well as the main trips. So some of them are a little over what they booked, but this is a great way for you to meet members who have done a lot of travel with us. If you have any particular questions, this is the chat. So there's one already up there. It's showing the excursions. Here's where we talk about the credits. So once you join, you will have access to this section, and you too would be able to just click on this and type a message to the other members in the group. So it's a great cruise. And what I'm going to do is scroll up to the top, and I'm going to turn off our presentation tonight. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, thank you. We hope we see you on board come next February. But if you are, not able to make this cruise, check out our website at www.singlestravelintl.com, and be sure to follow us on all of our social media so you can stay in touch with everything that we're doing.